Jam is your angry music?
Yes. How'd you know?
Because Hard Knocks told us.
Oh, that, I haven't got used to that. Yeah, he came, I think, 99. I was a sophomore in high school when he came out, and or when he hit the mainstream. And yeah, he has a tonality, that I was trying to harness, I would say, probably. But so we won't have Tyreek practice today, but that's not any indication of left or right. It's more just him, us trying to make sure that we have all cylinders go. And then Javon Holland is he's doing well. One thing that we have to do specifically with Javon, just knowing him, I'm sure you get the sense of he's so motivated and so aggressive to attack things that we have to kind of so that we don't have a lingering effects. He's a very, very important part of the team. So, there's a lot of guys that I kind of have to step in and get involved and kind of, with the training staff, really protect people from themselves. He is very high up on that list in terms of having to be proactive. So he's doing well, though. It was in great spirits today, so I know he knows that he's getting closer, but we'll be prudent and do right by him and the team. Well, each is unique to itself. Each came at a different stage in the season, and I think each has been extremely valuable. The first one, we were riding the high of a rare, I think 50-point margin of victory, and we experienced humility, not because it was out of lack of respect or it was just a unique experience for that to go from that high to that low. So I thought from that loss, the way we practice football changed for the entire year. Then the second loss against Philly, the going on the road and not playing clean football from a standpoint of, it's hard to go to a place that they hadn't lost there. I think they've lost one since. Really tough place to play. It was a big stage, and we needed to feel that, and we came up short, not out of lack of effort, but that was that was something that this team hadn't felt. They had only felt one loss, and by their own volition, they had a big part in that. So then that occurs where you just get beat by a good football team, and then I think in Kansas City we learned that in a different way, people were pressing when they shouldn't have or shouldn't need to. A different way from the Tennessee game, but that, and they also learned how hungry they were, and they hadn't really accomplished anything that they'd set out to do. Which is a humbling experience, but a very healthy experience. And then, this last loss was, I think we learned a vital piece of what will shape the rest of our season, namely this game against the Cowboys, is how, how. I'm not boring. You just went on TikTok? Whatever he's saying. But that one, we learned a vital piece on, where our attention should lie, and how, in a matter of 4 minutes in that case, but how things can go drastically awry. And you also don't have anywhere to hide. You have to stare yourself in the mirror. You have to feel that. You gotta remember that the identity of each and every player, coach, and person on the football staff, they're wrapped up in Dolphins. And when, as an organization, you feel that kind of humbling embarrassment, there's the only thing you can look at is exactly what's on deck today, exactly what your assignments are, the details with which can help you fix the feeling. So it's the most heightened sense of being present. It's the most intentional way that you go about your daily week that football teams have to learn. You just aren't birthed it. It's a we're month 20 in the season, and you have to keep finding a new level of intent and hard work, and keep building on the last week, and that's kind of where we're at right now. So I know one thing: there's an entire team that is solely focused on the Dallas Cowboys, and good teams are hard to beat anyway. So you can't do anything you can't just hope and wish. You have to make sure that you can do everything in your control, and then when you do that, I think that's when you see our team come to life. I think that's when we have a spirit on the field that's unique, because it's earned. It's not fake, and it's born and built out of preparation. I think, for one, there's any football coach in the National Football League pretty much knows, by reputation shown on film, of what type of coach Dan Quinn is as defensive coordinator. Inspires guys to truly be their best selves. I've witnessed it firsthand for a couple of years, and they are a team that strains, and they met a team that was also straining, and it wasn't like they were just giving up big open spaces and easy. It was a deliberate, intentional. Each team has their own thing going on, and you could tell that Buffalo had a mindset that I'm not gonna that it was more Buffalo executing than I saw this, that, or the other with Dallas. But one thing in this league, if you guys are hearing about and speaking to me about it, I think that our team's well aware. I'm very well aware that that team's very prideful. The Dallas Cowboys have prided themselves on a lot of things football, and they are hearing about it to the nth degree. So we know exactly what to expect this Sunday, and that's something similar to it's something similar that we can relate to in terms of what we went through just 6 days ago. So I think it sets up for two teams that feel internally that they really have something to prove to themselves, and to and that makes for good football. So it will be a hard-fought test for both teams that I'm really excited about. This is what you play football for. You play football to play the best teams, and that's we're very fortunate to have the opportunity, and we look to take advantage of that this Wednesday, and then do more of that on Thursday. Bro. Oh. You know, they are earning stripes and medal with every single one of their teammates. The rarefied air the whole group really has battled things, throughout the whole season. And Liam Eichenberg, his performance when the team absolutely needed it, it was he wasn't saying, okay, I'm going to try to go. He was telling everyone he was going, and then not even leading on to that he was dealing with anything. You just had to look at his, one of his feet had terrible footwear. It was a boot. So, like, and then what Austin was doing, in this stage of the season, you don't know where, you don't know which position, but if you're trying to win, it's a big task, and it's inherent that there's people that are willing to go there for the team. So their efforts have not gone unnoticed, and I think they're building onto the already established equity that they built with their teammates this year. There's even in a career year, the stripes that are really what makes him, the chip on his shoulder that he uses for a competitive advantage, never goes away. So he finds, in one way, shape, or form, to find his formula, which is that no one thinks he's good enough ever. That's the way he looks at it. You got to understand the stuff that he's gone through in his career is real. That would break most people. So it doesn't surprise me. But you want to talk about a guy that every single game, every single one of his teammates knows that dude is a hard tackle. Whether you're blocking for him, you're handing the ball off to him, or you're watching him play from the other sides of the ball, that he is, and there in the game of football, when there's an element that feels like a controlled variable, it is monumental for a team. So we rely on him week in, week out to deliver on that, and he's a huge reason for the successes that we have had this season. So there's this, especially with Tua, like, there's a pattern here that somebody's got to pick up on. Okay, he gets better, and he gets better in an inordinate amount in a short period of time, and that doesn't mean that the game of football is tough, and you're going to he will throw an interception at some point in his life. But what he's doing is he's learning from everything, because he's not pointing a finger or hiding from it. He is really holding himself fairly accountable for everything, but not backing down from anything. So you're seeing a guy develop as we've seen him develop really since I've been here. So should it surprise us that he continues to improve his game? Well, I mean, if we're blindfolded with earplugs, it should surprise us. But that's what about Tua, is that his hunger is deep within himself, and that will continue. And he's playing the quarterback position better than he had at the beginning of the season. Numbers are numbers, but he's learned stuff that is tangible as you progress through the season. And a tremendous responsibility to have the football every play, and he doesn't take that lightly. He is one of the best players in the National Football League at any position, and it's yeah. I don't think it's really debatable. This dude is different, and the orchestration that he has with his teammates, the stuff that Coach Quinn does with the multiplicity of his alignments, and you can tell that not only is he unique in skill set, but you don't play all the way across the line and in the stack and do all the things that he does without having a true love for the game. So he's I would probably say it's better. He's more fun to watch when you're not going to play him. But that being said, we like I like the challenge of facing elite players like our players do, and it's really cool to watch because you combine talent with strain. That's rarefied air in general, with the level of talent and the level of strain that he exhibits. So he is a real dude for sure. To expect the unexpected, I think our guys have gotten pretty comfortable. It's been a while since we've played a team that has just kind of done exactly what they do against other teams. And sometimes that means it's a different ratio of their coverages that they like to play. Sometimes it's coverages that we've never seen them play. So I think that's something that is a badge of honor that you try to earn in the National Football League, because it's both a sign of respect, but also a challenge at the same time, where it presents unique things that we were just talking about to his development, right? Well, that is something that he is well versed at week in, week out, as new challenges presented that you can forecast to a certain degree. To a certain degree, it's impossible, and that's what December football is in meaningful football games. From my experience, that's what I know to be true about playoff football, and the way throughout the postseason it only gets more extreme, especially when you get to a game with like 2 weeks to prepare. So these are things that that you have to become successful at if you're trying to be successful. So they're very, very good learning experiences as our team grows throughout the season. He's I don't think he's cleared yet, but he's participating in the process of getting cleared.